So I don't know about you, but I suffer from this thing where I get an idea and I think it's really cool and it seems like a fun personal project to do, and then I start working on it a little bit, and then inevitably I somehow end up Googling that thing and find out that somebody else has done it better than me, who they were more talented and more skilled, and they did it like 5 years ago, and they have like 100 different videos on their channel that are similar or are more interesting. And it's like, that shouldn't discourage me from doing something because I didn't do that thing, and I'm not going to do it the same way as them. In fact, the one thing that I'm thinking about right now is actually done with a different program than I use, so my version would still be helpful, but still at the same time, it's like knowing that I can't come up with an original idea is something that is frustrating as a creator, because, you know, I feel like I want to create it for the world, but if the world already has like 100 other options, why am I adding my voice as well? I feel like it's just cluttering things. But I mean, people won't tell me that. It seems like people still want me to make things, and I guess I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about everyone. There's always going to be a thirst for content and new information and new techniques of ways of creating things, and even if it's not new, it's still, people just like to see alternate versions of things, you know, other ways of doing stuff. So you know, I shouldn't feel discouraged really, because I'm doing something I enjoy doing. But yeah, I don't know, sometimes I start, a lot of time I start on projects and then I just don't finish them because I lose the motivation for one reason or another, or I feel like it's a big waste of time, and you know, nobody's looking at my shit anyway, right? Everybody's so caught up in their own little world that they're not really too concerned with how well other people feel like they're doing for themselves. But I mean, again, it's understandable that people would feel that way. I feel that way. I don't really, you know, I don't really care what my former students are creating of themselves. I mean, that's not true. I do like to know they're doing well, but I'm not concerned with it in the way that I'm concerned with my own output. But at the end of the day, I mean, if I never made anything ever again, if I never posted another Instagram picture, if I never uploaded anything to YouTube, would it really be that different? You know, do I need to put my pride and my, like, you know, yeah, pride's the best word there. My pride as a person, as an artist, as a creator, as a contributor to society. The YouTube's not society, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my voice is interesting. I feel like I'm capable of producing really interesting things, and yet I'm 10 years into my animation career and I've made plenty of work, but I haven't really made something that I feel like the world needs or wants. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of things that need to be said and explored. And I mean, even sometimes it's just getting away from things and just having fun. But yeah, I don't know. I've got so much potential, and I'm sitting here like making free seamless textures. That's fine, but it's not really, what is that doing? Other than making some other artist's job a little bit easier and potentially creating like a $5 product that I can sell on my website after 3 years. Is that really, is that really what I'm doing? Okay, well, anyway, this has been my not so uplifting morning rant, but I maybe want to start doing this kind of thing a little bit more regularly, just get my thoughts out there and, I don't know, capture my face. People forget what I look like. So I'll tell you one thing too, just because it's interesting. So in 2018, when I was traveling in an RV, I took about 70,000 photos, and you would think like I have photos of all the landscapes and the places we went. I don't. They're mostly pictures of Lauren, or like us inside the RV, or textures. I really did not capture the country as much as I captured like just random shit around the country. All right, dogs, come on. I got the dogs tangled up behind me here. Hang on a sec. There we go. Okay, so yeah, 70,000 photos in 2018, and then in 2019 I think I took 20. like literally 20 photos with my 6D. I took a couple photos of Lauren in our new house, a couple photos of the dogs. That's it. That was it. Although I did spend a lot of time in 2019 working on 3D artwork. So, you know, I basically learned all the ins and outs of Octane and started really getting into doing GPU rendering. So it wasn't a waste of time, but I think it's funny though that like just completely stopped. But it means I feel like my life goes in phases, and I really can start to look at it by the year. Now that I'm getting older, it's like obviously 2018 the division was the RV, but 2019 was sort of all about rebuilding, you know, rebuilding our finances, rebuilding our past life, building my computer setup, building my business. And 2020 is a somewhat of a continuation of that, although the focus this year has been a little bit more I guess like self-improvement, so stuff that's not visible to the world, but just getting a little bit more in my headspace. I mean, that's the reason I quit doing Instagram for a little while, and just became a chore. And you know, we shouldn't do this stuff if it's not fun for us, really. What's the point of it? Instagram's supposed to be fun and interesting, and yet social media seems to cause all these problems for people, you know. But it depends on what you look at. It depends on what your personality's like, you know. I am not a analyst. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a psychologist. I don't really understand what's going on, but I've heard enough people talking about it to sort of see the picture and see how things can be, you know, askew from where we want to think that they should be. But I don't know. I'm not here to talk about the problems of social media. It's fine. I'm not going to do anything about it. It's fine for me. For people who are grounded, I guess, a little bit more grounded and a little bit more self-confident and aware. It's like I use Instagram to post art. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to prove anything about my lifestyle. So maybe there's that. It's hard for me to get caught up in the same kinds of issues that people have with social media when I don't experience that myself. But I get it. I do get it. But again, that sort of makes me want to like not even do anything, not even be part of the conversation, because I don't want to contribute to the noise. You see the dilemma here, the circular thinking? Like, I don't want to contribute to the noise, but at the same time I want to contribute something useful and interesting. I want to make people happy. I want to enrich their lives, and I don't know exactly how to do that yet, but I figure I'll start somewhere, because, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I'm interesting and I'm creative, and I'm a thinker, and I love to help people, and I love to share. And I don't know that there's a ton of people out there right now. Okay, there are a ton of people who feel that way, but there aren't a ton of people who are really putting themselves out there. Or I should say not a ton of, I should say percentage-wise. Of the percentage of people on the internet and on social media who are contributing interesting, positive things, I actually don't know. No idea what the percentage is, but it seems like it's not as high as it should be. It seems like there's a lot more people who are just posting, you know, self-congratulatory type posts. Just saying, hey, I did this thing, look at me. And so, yeah, so one of my goals with the stuff that I want to start posting regularly is to only ever post something that's useful to someone else. So if it's a download, if it's a tutorial, if it's a word of advice, if it's a new tool, I don't want to just share pictures just because they're cool. No, I don't know. If I made a cool animation, I'll post it, I suppose. But I want to always try to make sure that the information I'm putting out there has a purpose and has, you know, as someone who is not me, would I want to watch this? What am I getting out of this? And I think that's what a creator should be doing. Yeah. And then you look back at this video and you're like, okay, so you've just been talking to camera for like 10 minutes. What are you doing? What am I doing? I guess I'm just capturing the moment for posterity, getting used to the idea of walking with this little camera in my hand. And I don't know. I really don't know. What am I doing with my life? I don't feel